Hi everyone, this is Shalonda Gordon, and I just wanted to do a video to help you get to know me and see exactly who am I, connecting with, and is this person real? Is what she's saying real? So I just wanted to let you know, yes, I am Shalonda Gordon. I'm also known as the online marketing angel. I like to say keep smiling after everything. That's been my tag since I first initially got on the internet back in '09. And I am a single mom. I have two daughters, 11 and 5 right now as of today. My 11-year-old is getting ready to be 12 in about 2 months. Don't know if I'm ready for that yet or not, but that's a whole nother story, right? I basically have been a single mom since the beginning. I've never been married. I have two daughters. My daughters have different fathers, okay? I basically have grown a lot since I became a mom. I always say my daughters saved my life at two different times. It's interesting because I actually grew up in Frankfurt, Germany, and my father was military, so I moved to Germany at the age of 5. My dad was in the Army, go Army, and he retired as a sergeant major back a couple of years back, many years back actually. And he really showed me how to, finish what you start. And my dad went into the Army ready to go. He went into the Army realizing that it was going to save his life and take him out of a cycle that seemed unbreakable. Okay. The Army really gave him a time where he could begin to create an income, begin to kind of get out of the projects and come up out of a situation that it seemed like the cycle was continuing and continuing. And so I am the product of my father that basically made a decision to go and do something that nobody else was doing, and ultimately gave me a way of life that I was blessed to have. So at the age of 5, I moved to Frankfurt, Germany. My mother became a teacher over there. My parents did separate when I was 9, and they divorced when I was 13. At the age of 9, when they separated, my father got stationed back in the world. We called the United States the world when we were over there. So he came back to the United States of America, and my mother and I came back for like 1 year. I think I was in 5th grade. I lived in Maryland then. And then she realized she made more money teaching schools over in Germany. So we went back to Frankfurt, Germany, and I lived there from the age of right after from 6th grade on until I graduated high school. So from the age of 5 until 5th grade. 5th grade was the only year I spent in the United States, and then all the other years of school, from elementary, middle school, high school, were spent in Germany. I came to America in '93. I graduated from high school, class of '93. I might have told you my age right there. Well, so be it. So I came to Germany. Came back to America, went to college. I went to DePaul University first for 3 years. I went there. It's Greencastle, Indiana, DePaul University. And I went there and majored in chemistry. Then I transferred to the University of Georgia. So I'm a big Georgia fan. Okay. Transferred to the University of Georgia and changed my major to physical chemistry. Now, I did not graduate, yet I did accumulate student loans, right? That's what's up. So I have quite a bit of student loans, but I do not have any paper for it. Ultimately, I made a decision that, you know what, I don't want to be in a lab every day. I don't want to be in a lab not making the money that I want to make, and I was kind of burned out. I was a really good student in high school. I was the one who had like the 4 or 5 AP classes my senior year, graduated with full ride to college, and was just burned out. I was tired of it. So I started kind of partying. When I was at Georgia, I partied, and I worked. I started waiting tables and really getting to meet lots of people and that kind of thing. I realized living in America was a little different than living in a military environment overseas. Overseas, when you live in an environment overseas, you're basically, we all know at the end of the day, we are Americans and we kind of hang together. It doesn't matter what race you are, what creed you are, don't matter how you talk, don't matter what state you come from, none of that. We are Army at the end of the day. We are military at the end of the day, armed forces, and we are family. Ultimately, we are what we have. Our parents are the ones who are securing the country, United States. So when I moved to America, I realized that a lot of individuals weren't really aware of what soldiers went through, and the fact that it did matter your color, how you talked, and all these things had a much more bigger effect, on things than how they were in Germany. And with that, I dealt with a lot of individuals telling me I couldn't be who my whole life people had said I could be, and that affected me from the inside out. I basically started spiraling out of control because I didn't understand this world I had moved to, where I was being ridiculed simply because of the color of my skin. I'm just gonna be completely honest. It might have been 93, but that was the fact. That was the only thing, and it was weird. Like I was like, well, can I at least open my mouth? You know, in Germany, I spoke German fluently. Therefore, they at least allowed me to open my mouth before they made a judgment of what kind of American I was, right? But when I came to America, I wasn't quite American anymore. I was African American. And it was a different way of life. I remember calling my dad at 18, like, Dad. He was like, what? I said, you didn't tell me I'm black. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, and some people laugh at that, but that was real. And because of that, I was being told, you can't do that. Are you sure you want to do that? That's not really going to work for you because of, your look and this and the other. And I was like, okay. So after 3 years of college at DePaul and then going and having 2 years at Georgia, I was just at this point spiraling out of control. And really wasn't focused on much of anything. I ended up in Atlanta and I was waiting tables. I worked my way. I was always been a hustler. Money has always flowed. Really for all of us, money flows. It's really up to you how you deal with that. But I was waiting tables, cocktailing at night at clubs, whatever, partying every single day. Okay. And then at the age of 25, I got pregnant and had my first daughter. Now I had her in December and I turned 26 actually in January right after I had her. So I had a really good run of just kind of hiding from myself and just really not feeling the pain of what had happened from the changes and what I didn't understand. And so that's why I say my first daughter saved my life, because I was spiraling pretty much out of control. I could be dead. Like I was doing stuff that was really stupid. I had really bad habits and I continuously did those habits. I had a good time. I don't have regrets because I did have fun. I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't. Yet ultimately I was having so much fun. I wasn't living a reality of this is what you're doing to yourself. And this is where you're going to go because of these decisions you're making. So I had my first daughter and I say she saved my life because of her, I sobered up. I used to stay drunk every day. I would wait tables and I would still probably have like a buzz from the night before. And then I would get off work from waiting tables, like a double, and then turn around and go get my drink on again, And so ultimately when I got pregnant, I sobered up. And as I sobered up, I began to see the reality of my life. It's funny when you're walking in a circle like that, you don't really realize, what's going on. You don't really realize that all this stuff is happening to you, but you don't feel it because you're numb, because you're in this delusional cloud, of alcoholism. So I sobered up and began to realize, look, this is going to work. I'm having a baby. Now, I thought I was going to have a boy because if I had a boy, I could just, kind of toss him off to his dad because I don't know nothing about being a man. And then I could still live my life. Well, I found out I was having a girl. And literally when I tell you guys, I did not talk for like 3 weeks, for real. So I had a girl and I realized in order to raise a lady, in order to raise a strong woman, I had to be one. I couldn't raise her if I wasn't one myself. You see what I'm saying? So I had to become one. And when I see her today at the age of 11, I'm so grateful that I was at least strong enough to be able to stand on what my parents had taught me and not all those lies that had come in the 10 years between there, and really know that everything I need is in me and I can truly raise her because she's gorgeous. She's beautiful from the inside out. And then in 06, my brother, I had a brother, he died in a car accident. He was here one day and he was gone the next. Shook me to the core. Again, a situation where I was like, you know what? I can't live life like this. Is crazy. I could die tomorrow. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And so I ended up back down that spiral again, drinking and just doing things shouldn't do. Left my daughter with my mother. Really got ready to give her to her father because I just, I didn't know how I could live this life. In the midst of my actions, I ended up pregnant again. And I always say God blessed me with life when he could have very easily taken it. He could have easily taken it because the decisions I were making were putting me in unsafe situations, and he could have easily took my life. But he blessed me with life instead. And at that moment, I realized I had my daughter in 07, and I realized, you know what? Being a mom is what I was created to do. Now I need to take care of them. So in 07, I had my baby, and I knew then that I had to do what was necessary to raise my girls. And God has really kept us. He's blessed us in this household. Just so y'all know, also, I am a Christian. I'm not one that just talks about it, but I do walk the walk. I live my life according to it. I read the Bible every day, and I like to have my time with the Lord. I wear a ring, even though I'm single. I wear a ring to remind me of whose I am, okay, to remind me of who I belong to. And I do give credit to that relationship with the Lord. The reason why I'm able to be here today, giving you this information about myself so you can make a decision whether I'm somebody you want to lock arms with. All right. Now, ultimately in '07, I had my baby and I realized, okay, now I got 2 kids. I'm going to have to figure this thing out. The child support wasn't really flowing in. It was as if they can decide to pay when they want to or how they want to, as if the kids just eat, randomly when I decide they're going to eat, when I have money for them to eat. And so again, I was in a situation where I was taking care of 2 kids by myself with no help from their fathers. At this time today, my oldest daughter's father is a great support. He has picked up and really done what's necessary to help me take care of our daughter, and I'm so appreciative of that. I don't sit and ponder on what happened back then. I say that right now, I'm grateful that he understands and that our relationship is in a place where he doesn't feel like he has to not help me, but he understands it's our responsibility to raise our child, right? And so, and to support her, okay? My youngest daughter, I'm still doing that on my own, yet it doesn't even seem like it because of the fact of the way the internet has been able to assist me in taking care of my family. Now, I came online in '09, realizing that my MLM, I wasn't generating the leads I needed to. Now that I have these kids, I really couldn't go out and do parties because I didn't want my children growing up in hotel rooms, right? I really couldn't just talk to strangers because I don't see that as being too safe, considering you don't know who you're dealing with. And I didn't know if I wanted to really introduce a lot of strangers into my world like that, the one-on-one, right? So I got online to try to nestle that and find a way in order to really create an income and leverage myself and generate leads on the internet. Okay, so I did that in '09. When I got online in '09, I decided to take on attraction marketing. Attraction marketing is where you give out content up front and then you close them on the back end. Okay, so you give out content up front, you get people involved with you, and then you close them on the back end. So at this point, they know what you're going to show them, they know who you are, and then they're closing on the back end, which I still use today. Ironically, this video, us talking right now, right? Or me talking to you right now. So as I did that, I began to really do well. In '09, I began to just really have no problems attracting. But then I started realizing I really didn't quite like who I was attracting. And it wasn't because something was wrong with them. It was because I was attracting myself. And there were things in myself I still hadn't quite worked through. So as I saw it in somebody else and I didn't like it, I had to go back and look in the mirror and say, well, what is it about that you don't like? And then I had to fix that thing in me. So, ultimately still leveraging, getting leads from my internet business, my MLM business, as well as creating income through affiliates online through my internet marketing. Now, we scroll down to 2011. Now, I'm still trying to figure this thing out. Now, I had a job. I got a job in '01 with my mother. She's a psychologist running her private practice. And ultimately, that was great. I was a contracted employee, which means I'm a contracted self-employed person, no benefits, no insurance, right? Which that was my life. God was my doctor, and I'm a strong believer. You declared it is so. I have never had any serious illnesses. God has taken good care of me. Okay. No complaints there. And ultimately, I was kind of always behind the 8 ball because I was building a business with my mother that was really taking on the whole, grunt of it. I would pay the bills of the business before I paid myself sometimes. Because my mom, she was a professor or a counselor, and she always was receiving income. But my situation was a little different, and I still had the kids. But God is faithful. Okay, and so in 2011, I realized that okay, I'm going to use this tool to leverage myself, and that's when I basically found the business I'm in now that is basically taking care of everything, guys. I made $8,000 in 4 months. Okay, so I made $8,000 in 4 months, and then once I saw that, I was like, okay, now I have the right tool I need, the right avenue I need now, and I've learned a lot of things since '09. Now I have that. Now it's time for me to share, because I'm a strong believer in that. The open hands works. If your hands are closed, you can't get anything more. So if you keep learning, and you hold it all right here, you're not going to be able to get any more, because can't nothing get into that, right? But if you have open hands and you learn stuff and it flows through you and out to others, constantly, you have what you need. Okay, I'm a giver. It's in me. My dad is like that. My mom is like that. I have it from both sides. I'm a giver. It's in me. Okay, so I have open hands, and I'm at a point now where I'm confident of what works because I've had the results. I'm confident of what doesn't work because I've probably tried that too, right? And so I'm in a position now where I can really share with individuals what's happened. My heart is for single moms. I'll be totally honest. A lot of you watching this video, you are single moms, and that's the reason why you're even watching this, because we're single moms, and you're like, well, let me see what she's actually doing. A lot of stuff that I've had to do is break through my own mind, just break out and decide that everything I know isn't necessarily right. We're constantly evolving, guys. We're not going to be perfect ever. Perfection does not exist. What does exist is a decision in order to continue to move forward and press forward. Okay, that's what does exist. So ultimately, that's what I bring to this table. I bring that kind of energy. I bring that kind of education. I'm the one who goes out and hustles and finds the information I need. I don't wait for somebody to come and tell me. And I expect individuals that work with me to be the same way. Do I answer questions? Yes, absolutely. But if I know there's a way you can get that answered and you can learn something while going to get the answer, I'm going to send you through there to learn it and get the answer. Okay? It just is what it is. I like to work with hard working individuals. And the thing is that you don't have, working hard doesn't mean you have to be working hard at this all the time. We work hard at taking care of our kids. We work hard at taking care of our houses and our homes. We work hard at being the best we can be so that we can raise the next generation. Okay. And it's an amazing thing when your kid comes up and says, well, Mom, are you working on your business? Like, yeah, I am. I'm gonna need you to be quiet for a second, right? That's an amazing thing. Some of you are on here because you're internet marketers and MLMers, and you're wondering, well, what can she bring to me? Well, I started my first MLM in '96, guys. Back when I started MLM, you had to stock up on a lot of products. I had $5,000 worth of products. I got a loan for that. And then I did other MLMs. So MLMs kind of evolved into, you don't have to buy a whole gang of thousands of dollars worth of product, you know what I'm saying, and sell that product. You know, times change. But I've been in MLM since '96, in about 5 or 6 companies. I'm one that likes to kind of stay loyal, give it 12 months before I make a decision to move. That's kind of how I work. And if no money's made and it's obviously not going to work, then I would move. I like products that I've offered. I still am a customer to many of the products from my past MLMs. I currently do have an MLM now. And guys, if you don't know, MLM is multi-level marketing, network marketing. I do currently have an MLM now, yet I'm focusing more on this current business that's really creating the income I need so that I can invest into my MLM the way we're supposed to, even though they fail to tell us that usually at the beginning. Okay, so that's what I bring to the table for you guys, a way to really help you get that marketing budget that you need, and at the same time learn how to actually market so that you can grow your MLM. Okay, if you're new to this and you just want to make money online, you've heard the story. I'm making money online. Just to let you guys know, I no longer work with my mother. I've taken a cut there, and I actually, as of December 31st, 2012, will no longer be working with her. I had a revelation in October when I had my 11-year anniversary that, you know what, it's time for me to start putting this energy into my own stuff. I know enough now. I can do it. And I've embarked off. I've kind of cut the rope. My mom is a great security blanket for me. I'm so appreciative for all she's done in my life and all she continues to do in my life. She's a rock that does not change. And she stands there and supports me and helps me out, as my father does as well. And I've decided, you know, I'm going to cut the security, put down the security blanket, and I'm going to move forward. And I've done that. And it's an amazing feeling to really know you have in you everything you need. Okay, so I just want to welcome you and thank you for taking the time to connect with me. I look forward to getting to know more about you. Feel free to the emails I write. Some are automated and they go out, but I wrote them. Feel free to respond to them. Just hit reply and respond if you have something to say. You want to say something about this video, hit reply, respond. You know what I'm saying? It's not a problem. I do get those emails too. And we can go ahead and begin this journey together. I'm already ready to take you and show you exactly what I've done in order to get what I need, okay? If you're not on my list right now, you're not looking at this video from there, go ahead, click the link below and we can start getting connected right away. Okay, you can see exactly what is it she does, see exactly what's going on, get connected with all of my avenues and do it that way, okay? You guys have an amazing day and keep smiling.